Good morning, my friends. Today, I thought we would do a garden tour. I am not even close to ready to stop gardening this year, and I shouldn't be because we're right in the, I would say, probably the first third of the garden season here in Maine. Anyhow, but I did want to give you guys just kind of a walkthrough of what we have been accomplishing here. The good, the bad, the ugly so far in gardening this year. I shouldn't say the ugly, but some things are ugly. And then some things are surprisingly beautiful, and I just thought I would bring you with me. So, I'm having my cup of coffee, and we're walking through the garden together. Come on. All right, so this is the Garden of Hope entrance from the driveway portion, and this is that really like lace vine plant. I don't remember the name of it, and please forgive me, I don't remember the names of lots of plants, but I do my research before I plant them to see if they'll even do good in this environment. Anyway, so these little red flowers are just annuals, so they'll die off this year and not come back. I was surprised this lavender right here came back from last year. I didn't think I would be able to overwinter that. And this is a creeping thyme, which I think I'm going to get more of those. So it's really beautiful. I think that's a lilac in that pot, but I can't remember because my sticker, the lettering wore off. These beautiful plants here, they typically bloom in early fall, late summer, early fall. And I saw these plants on a women's retreat that I went on, and I took a picture of them and I found them, but I can't remember what they're called. So if you know what they're called, just say women's retreat plants and put the comment in the description. These will attract hummingbirds and bees, and so this overwintered as well. I thought I had lost it. Right here, an arborvitae will go in there. I have some baby arborvitaes, and then my husband's his favorites are torch lilies. Let's go in the garden. So you can see that I'm starting a pathway, a pile of weeds. We have to edge it. I bought some edging to keep the soil from running off, which is kind of where I'm in a holding pattern. Anyway, it comes around here, and you can see I'm not done yet. It's going to go around that corner. This one, I'm also not done. I need that edging again because the soil, when it rains, will run right off. But I also don't remember what these are, but they're one of my favorites. Isn't that beautiful little blossom? So, and then these bushes are beautiful. I have one on each end. but I have a feeling that I'll have to move those, at least one of them, because I've been driving around and I've been noticing these bushes, which I never noticed before. They get massive, and I don't know if it's because people aren't pruning or trimming, but they do. So I brought rocks down from up on our property and I put them in. This bed will eventually wrap down and separate between the edge, which you can see the arborvitaes along the edge. They're gonna come all the way up here and meet up with the Garden of Hope sign. So this will be a privacy, kind of a privacy hedge. This will go in between and act as a double walkway. But for the meantime, we're under the heart tree. One of the reasons why I wanted to buy this property. This tree is massive and it's shaped like a heart. Anyway, so you'll have this walkway here. And I planted all these things last year, except for the little teeny plants. They are annuals. I just tried to fill in and make things beautiful. I need to weed, I do, but I also am working on that pile of soil. So over here, obviously I need to weed, but I've been putting some little things in my garden that I really like these little white things. They're solar lights. So yeah, that's a weed. I wasn't sure. It's a weed, and if it isn't a weed, I'm gonna treat it like one. It's too big for this area. This is a bee waterer. Anyway, I have lots of organic matter that just popped in here on its own. Some of it I'll keep, some of it I won't. Over here we have these little arborvitaes. We're gonna start moving them. Actually, they're gonna go along the edge over here where I've been working. They're gonna go along the edge of the front and then up the side. They're gonna take quite a bit of time before they get nice and big, so we thought we'd put them there. I have 2 pear trees and I'm really excited because look what I got. I know, a baby pear. So I don't know if I have much pears. I think that's the only one I have on this tree, but that's okay. Who cares? It's the first year. And then come down here. On this other tree, I do have something eating holes in the leaves, but honestly, I think that's gonna be par for the course. This one doesn't have any pears on it, but that's really okay. It really is. It's the first year. And of course, this garden is totally overgrown. I do need to come in here, weed really bad, but I'm going to change the shape of this bed. We're going to be removing this tree out because we're going to plant arborvitaes all along the front. So, of course, we want to keep all the lupins. I mean, look at those. Look at those gorgeous girls. Just out here in their glory. Yeah, so I do want to keep the lupins, but I do need to trim everything back. So anyway, look at those beautiful arborvitaes. Over here, this bed is going to get much bigger and I have more plants to add to it. This is my climbing rose. Isn't she beautiful? She's doing so good. So anyway, and then these are, of course, are just flowers that I got. They're annual flowers just to help spruce up the place. Beautiful. I like these arborvitaes. We have them so that you can put an arborvitae in between if we decide we want to, but I like the spacing of these because I'm not trying to block out sight altogether, but I am trying to, these will get about 4 feet wide, so they'll just provide enough space for curiosity. So that's where I'm at with the Garden of Hope. I've got to get some more plants in, of course. I've got to move some arborvitaes. And, you know, everything happens in stages, and we only can go so fast and do so much work. But I'm really, really happy with the progress that we've made this year so far. I'm probably just going to add the rest of the soil, bring out that bed around where the travel trailer is, Maddie, get out of the garden. So I'll take the garden bed and wrap it around where the travel trailer is. Probably put the rest of the soil in here. I need to add some to the rose garden or the rose bed, and I need to make that a little bit bigger just because I have more plants to plant in there. So, and then on the vegetable garden side, I'm going to plant some bee balm. So I'll probably put a little bit of soil over there for that purpose. So let's not tarry any longer, and let's go over to the vegetable garden. We have more beds to add, but not this year, maybe a couple more, and then some wildflowers. But the swell that's been dug has been phenomenal in how it's helped our garden. One, the bugs are significantly less. Two, the soil has dried out for the first time in a long time, so we're real excited about it. Anyway, in these first two beds here, I have corn, and normally I wouldn't even plant corn like this, but I wanted some corn, and if I don't get it for food, I want it for decoration in the fall. However, I prefer to have both, but I needed corn this year for those reasons, and I wasn't going to be able to plant in ground this year. I wasn't going to be able to plant in ground the corn this year, and so I wanted to make sure that I reserved a couple beds for that. These are pumpkin-y squashes here. I don't know which ones they are, so I think I have a variety of them. Aren't they beautiful? Now these are the most beautiful ones I have right now because I had a bunch of squash bugs show up like they do faithfully every year, and I sprayed neem oil, and you can see some of the damage, right? This is part of the good bad. Look at, there's squash bugs right there. You guys see that? So, yeah. Right here, we have onions. Now, normally want my onions up by my garlic, which we're gonna head over there in a minute, but I don't have my onion beds in yet, and I needed to get my onions planted. This is not nearly enough of what we need, but this is how it goes, right? When you're building and you're developing and you're creating, you start where you are, right? And you do what you can, and each year we get better and better. So I'm pretty excited about that. Now over here is the ugly, and let me bring you over here. I think you'll agree with me on this. You can see that these are also squashes. I think these are different variety of pumpkin and squashes, and the bugs have just annihilated them. So I sprayed them with neem oil. I went to battle. I killed most of them, not all of them. I need to come in with some soap. I don't think I can do neem oil again and actually have a plant that survives. But what happened is I sprayed it early in the morning in the cool of the day, and that was great, but it got really warm, and I think that the oil burned the leaves as well. So I'm not sure. I think maybe evening, in the cool of the evening, might be better, but they also were really prolific, and I was kind of freaking out a little bit. So these next two beds are the same, just really kind of burnt and bug eaten. So I want to go and I want to actually snip off all those squash blossoms. I'm not going to do it now while I'm recording, but I'm going to come in and take off the squash blossoms because I really don't need them to produce vegetables right now. What I need them to do is grow and get big and healthy. So here I have my green beans, and they're doing really well. We did put some rabbit manure in here, and so that really has helped them spruce right up. So I'm pretty happy about this. here we have beets. These beets take forever to get started, and I don't know why. I cannot weed until the beets are a little bit bigger because they're too fragile right now. So these are beets, and yes, I need to weed. And then these are carrots. Now you'll see that there isn't any actual like lines, and sometimes I just get impatient and I don't want to do lines because I'm going to have to thin out. I don't like thinning, but nothing is wasted. The carrots that are thinned, give to the rabbits. Peppers. This is the spicy pepper, and they're not doing well. I need a greenhouse. I don't have the ability to do a greenhouse. We have a lot on our plate this year, but I do want to put in hoops. However, these hoops don't work. We have to do something a little bit better. But this is the spicy peppers. There's different Thai hot salsa peppers, habaneros, ghost peppers. So they're just not doing real well. Over here we have sweet peppers, and they're doing much better, but still you can see how they're yellowing. They're not doing really well. I think it's just harsh conditions. I think I'm lacking something in the soil. So the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now let's look at some good. Over here is cauliflower, and I was over here watering the other day, and look what I found. I know, Paisley doesn't even know it yet. The cauliflower is doing phenomenal. I do need to get in here and weed, but aren't they beautiful? And these are broccoli. It's too early for the broccoli. They're going to be gorgeous, and this is going to just fill up beautifully. These are potatoes from our own seedlings, so I'm happy about that. All right, so our neighbors are getting ready to do some work for us, so I have to hurry up, otherwise you don't hear it. But this is potatoes, potatoes, potatoes. Here we have Brussels sprouts and kohlrabi. Now kohlrabi is turning out great. Look at that. We've already had one. We're gonna try kohlrabi chips, and Paisley loves it, so we wanted to see how she would do. And then this, of course, is my purple cabbage. Over here we have beets. I do need to weed, but they are doing really well. And this is some more. I'm not doing tomatoes this year, but see this damage? I mean, my goodness, right? I don't even know if they'll recover. I got a little vegetable on there. I got to take that off. And then I had an overflow of peppers, and then my cucumbers. I mean, they're doing a little bit better, but man, this one didn't even do anything. Yeah. So, and then I have over here basil, and my basil looks terrible. It's coming back, but it didn't transfer well, so I'm not sure. And then my dill is just, look at that beautiful dill. It's a really big deal. And then over here on this side we have sugar pumpkins, and I have more squash bugs, so I've got to get soapy water. See those? Yeah, terrible. And I got to take off the blossoms. And then these are my leeks, if you can see them. I do need to weed. And then over here, these are sweet peas and lettuce. I planted this lettuce real close so I could just do some quick trimming to have some baby lettuce. The sweet peas are in blossom. Look at that. What a sweet pea. And then some bigger heads of lettuce are forming. And I just love this lettuce. Alrighty. And then we're gonna come over here, past the leeks, out front, and then we have carrots. And these carrots I've thinned. I'll have to thin again, but I let them get a little bit bigger, and then I thin again and again until we get the perfect size, and then I give everything to the rabbits. Look at this garlic. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, look it, I have scapes. These are garlic scapes. It's time to come out and get the garlic scapes off. So I'll be doing that. If I have enough, I'll make a pesto. I think I will. Look at this, isn't this beautiful? So Well, you guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. The machines are coming out. You guys aren't even gonna be able to hear me in a minute, and I'm not going to be able to communicate well. I do need to get the garlic scapes off soon, so I'll have to come out here and get those. But thank you so much for coming along with us on this journey. Thanks for hanging out with me in my garden this morning, and I hope that you guys have a glorious day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.